The message arrived late at night, just as the world was beginning to wind down. On Earth, people were too busy with their lives to notice the strange signal coming from space. But at a military communications center in Alaska, a team of scientists and analysts were wide awake. The message wasn't normal. It was too clear, too direct, and too old. The signal was in every language on Earth, but the words sent a chill through their bones. Earth should have been left alone. At first, the team thought it was a joke. Maybe some strange alien interference. Maybe a glitch. But the more they studied the signal, the more unsettling it became. The message had a strange, ancient tone to it. It wasn't from a civilization they knew. It felt old. Very old. They tried to trace the origin of the signal. The source was located near the edge of the galaxy, far beyond what humanity had explored. The team knew this was serious. A meeting was quickly arranged with Earth's top leaders, but before they could gather all the facts, strange things began happening. At first, it was just one ship, an alien vessel, like nothing humanity had ever seen. It appeared just outside Earth's orbit, and before any military force could respond, it vanished, disappearing into the void of space as if it never existed. And then, another ship, and another. Each one came, and each one vanished in the blink of an eye. There was no attack, no warning. The military didn't know what to do. They couldn't fight an enemy, they couldn't see. But one thing was certain, the signal wasn't a joke anymore. And the message was clear. Whatever was out there, they didn't want Earth to be part of it. Months passed. The world's governments scrambled for answers. They found out that this wasn't just one alien empire warning Earth. No, this was every single fallen empire in history. Hundreds, if not thousands of them. Every empire that had once touched Earth had left the same message. Earth should have been left alone. The leaders of Earth were stunned. They had heard of the ancient empires that had existed long before humans even learned to walk. But they didn't believe these empires still had power. How could they? Earth had been mostly untouched, an unknown little blue planet tucked in a corner of the universe. But as more messages came in, each one a little darker, a little more desperate, the leaders realized something terrifying. The galaxy had been watching Earth for centuries, and every empire that had tried to take it had fallen. The first empire to fall had been a mighty one, a race of tall, armored beings with technology far beyond what humanity could imagine. They came to Earth with the intention of enslaving its people and harvesting its resources. But as soon as they landed, they vanished. No sign of their ships. No trace of their technology. Just empty space where they had once been. Then, the second empire tried. This one was more aggressive, determined to conquer Earth no matter the cost. They sent waves of ships, powerful enough to tear apart entire planet. Yet, as soon as they engaged with Earth, their fleets were destroyed, as if something had reached out from the planet itself and wiped them from existence. Over time, every empire, every civilization that tried to conquer Earth met the same fate. They vanished without a trace, leaving only their final warning behind. Earth should have been left alone. Now, humanity had to face the truth. The message wasn't just a warning, it was a curse. Earth was somehow connected to an ancient force that destroyed any empire that dared to take control of it. The fear spread through the governments of Earth. Some wanted to retreat, pull back from the galaxy, and abandon their dreams of space exploration. Others, though, were determined to find out the truth. They sent teams of scientists, diplomats, and explorers to the edges of the galaxy where the message had originated, hoping to uncover the secrets of Earth's strange power. But the deeper they went, the more terrifying the truth became. As they traveled closer to the source of the warning, they found remnants of destroyed empires. Broken ships, fallen cities, and scattered pieces of ancient technology, all pointing to the same thing. Every empire that had touched Earth had been wiped out not by war, not by weapons, but by an unstoppable, unknown force tied to the planet itself. The explorers discovered something even more chilling. Earth had never been alone in the galaxy. It had been the cradle of many civilizations before humanity ever existed. But each one had faced the same end when they tried to take control of Earth. As the explorers uncovered more, they realized that the message wasn't just a warning for the galaxy. It was a warning for Earth itself. Whatever had been set in motion by the first empires had now reached its final stage. The force that destroyed them was coming for Earth, and there was nothing anyone could do to stop it. Back on Earth, the message was clear. Earth should have been left alone. But now, humans understood its true meaning. Earth wasn't just a planet, it was a weapon. And whoever tried to control it would face its terrible power. The final countdown to humanity's survival began. The only question left was whether Earth could be saved or whether it was already too late. When humanity first reached the stars, they had no idea they were walking in the footsteps of giants. The first missions to explore distant planets were exciting, full of promise. But everything changed when a team of explorers discovered something beneath the surface of Earth, something that would shake humanity to its core. Deep under the ground, hidden away for centuries, lay the remains of a forgotten alien civilization. But that was only the beginning. It all started when a strange old artifact was uncovered during a mining operation in the deserts of Egypt. The artifact was like nothing anyone had seen before. It was a smooth black stone with strange markings that seemed to shift when looked at from different angles. Scientists who examined it were baffled. There was no known material like it, and the symbols on the stone seemed to be from no known language. But as the scientists studied it more closely, they found something disturbing. Hidden beneath the markings was a message. At first, it seemed like a random jumble of words, but soon it became clear that it was a warning. The message read, "Earth should never have been touched. The curse will claim all who try to control it." At first, no one took the warning seriously. Many dismissed it as nothing more than a coincidence or an ancient riddle from a long-forgotten past. But things started happening that couldn't be ignored. The world's most powerful governments began receiving encrypted messages, each one from a different alien race, all with the same message: Earth should have been left alone. These messages were brief, chilling, and as mysterious as the artifact itself. Some of the messages were ancient, dating back thousands of years. Others came from galaxies far away, from empires that had never been in contact with Earth before. The governments of Earth tried to figure out what was going on. They couldn't ignore the fact that multiple empires, some of which had once been powerful beyond belief, had fallen after trying to take control of Earth. But the strangest part was that no one could explain how or why they had fallen. It wasn't war or rebellion. It wasn't technology or weapons. It was something far older, something much darker. As the world scrambled for answers, another discovery was made. A hidden underground base was found beneath Antarctica, buried deep within a glacier. The base appeared to be ancient, its technology far beyond anything humans had ever seen. Inside, there were records of past civilizations that had once ruled the stars, but every single one had left a warning: Earth should have been left alone. The records detailed the rise and fall of these ancient empires, and they all shared one thing in common. They had come to Earth with grand ambitions. Some came to conquer it. Others came to study it, to harvest its resources, or to claim it as their own. But every one of them had vanished without a trace. The more the scientists explored, the more they uncovered about this strange curse. There were ancient artifacts, remnants of ships, and even skeletal remains from alien species. But the most frightening discovery came when they decoded a hidden message left by one of the fallen empires. It said, "Earth is not a planet to be ruled. Those who try to control it are destroyed by a force beyond their understanding." The deeper the team dug, the more they realized that Earth was not just another planet. It was the center of something far greater, a force tied to the very fabric of the galaxy itself. And that force was waiting. News of the curse began to spread, and soon the entire world knew the truth. Earth was a cursed planet. Every empire that had ever touched it had been wiped out by an unstoppable force that no one could explain. But why? What was it about Earth that made it so dangerous? And why had it taken so long for the rest of the galaxy to understand? As governments began to investigate further, they found that the curse was not just a warning from the past, it was a living thing, still active and still waiting to claim those who dared to threaten Earth. There were strange occurrences. Ships sent to explore the distant reaches of space never returned. Entire fleets vanished without a trace. Some ships came back, but their crews were never the same, mentally shattered, unable to speak of what they had seen. One day, a group of explorers went missing while traveling to the outer rim of the galaxy. They had been investigating the origins of the curse when all contact was lost. The last message they sent was chilling. We are not alone. Something is following us. Something ancient. It was then that humanity understood the gravity of the situation. The curse wasn't just a warning, it was a force that would come for them if they ever tried to control Earth. The more they investigated, the more they realized that every empire that had tried to conquer Earth had failed for the same reason. No one knew what the force was or where it came from, but they knew it was deadly. The world's leaders debated their next move. Some suggested abandoning space exploration altogether. Others argued that humanity had come too far to turn back now. But one thing was certain: if they didn't figure out the truth behind Earth's curse, it wouldn't matter. The force would find them, just as it had found every other empire that had tried to control Earth. And as the story unfolds, the question remained, what exactly is the curse? And was there any way to stop it before it claimed humanity as its next victim? In the distant future, humanity had become a powerful force in the galaxy. After centuries of struggle and growth, Earth was no longer the small, insignificant planet it once was. But even as humanity expanded its reach, exploring new planets and forming alliances with alien races, one thing remained a mystery. Why had no other advanced civilizations ever reached Earth before? The answer came when an ancient artifact was discovered deep within the jungles of South America. It was a massive stone obelisk covered in strange symbols that no one could read. The object had been buried for thousands of years, hidden beneath layers of dirt and rock, waiting to be found. As soon as it was uncovered, something strange began to happen. The moment the artifact was exposed to the air, strange energy pulses rippled through the planet. Satellites in orbit malfunctioned, and communication systems around the world began to fail. But more disturbing was the fact that the discovery of the obelisk had triggered an alarm that had been dormant for eons. Hidden deep beneath the surface of Earth, something ancient was awakening. Scientists and engineers rushed to study the artifact. As they examined it, they found intricate carvings that seemed to shift and change, almost as if they were alive. They began to translate the symbols, revealing a message: the power lies beneath. Those who seek it will be tested. The message seemed to promise untold power to anyone who could uncover the secret of Earth's past. But it came with a warning: the power is not for the unworthy. Despite the warning, humanity's leaders couldn't resist the temptation. They ordered teams to dig deeper, to explore the hidden layers beneath Earth's surface. The idea of uncovering a long-lost power was too enticing. After all, Earth was already a player in the galaxy, but what if it could become the power? The potential was limitless. As excavation teams dug deeper, strange things began to happen. Massive underground caverns were discovered, their walls lined with glowing symbols, and at the center of each cavern lay vast, forgotten machines. They were like nothing humanity had ever seen, advanced technology far beyond anything Earth's engineers could comprehend. And then, things got worse. As soon as the machines were activated, strange energy pulses began to flood Earth's atmosphere. Power grids failed, cities went dark, and reports of terrifying storms and strange seismic activity spread across the planet. Governments scrambled to control the situation, but no one could explain what was happening. It was as if the planet itself had turned against its people. Meanwhile, the scientists continued to work, driven by the promise of the forgotten power that lay beneath the surface. They were blinded by greed and ambition, unable to see the danger that was rising. The deeper they dug, the more unstable the planet became. Earth's core seemed to be reacting to the awakening of the ancient machines. And then came the first attack. A massive alien fleet appeared just outside Earth's orbit. Their ships were sleek and dark, their technology far more advanced than anything humanity had ever seen. They sent a warning: leave Earth. It is not meant for you. But the message was ignored. The human leaders, too proud to back down, ordered their military to prepare for battle. The alien ships didn't wait. They opened fire, unleashing devastating energy blasts that tore through Earth's atmosphere. The world's defenses scrambled to react, but nothing could stop the power of the alien fleet. Cities were reduced to rubble, and millions of lives were lost in the first wave of attacks. Yet, as the human forces struggled to fight back, something unexpected happened. The energy from the ancient machines beneath Earth began to fight back. A massive surge of energy shot up from the planet's core, crackling through the atmosphere and sending shockwaves across the alien fleet. The alien ships were thrown into chaos, their systems malfunctioning as they were bombarded by Earth's forgotten power. For the first time in history, humanity had a fighting chance. But they didn't understand what was happening. They didn't know where the energy was coming from, or how to control it. As the battle raged on, the alien fleet retreated, but not without leaving a chilling message. You are not the first to awaken the power. You will not be the last. The warnings were clear. The ancient power beneath Earth had been discovered by other civilizations long before humanity had arrived. And each time, the power had been unleashed, triggering a cycle of destruction. Civilizations would rise, seek to control the power, and ultimately be destroyed by it. The forgotten power had never been meant to be controlled. It was a force that could not be tamed. Now, humanity was at a crossroads. They had awoken the power, and it had saved them, but at a terrible cost. The world was in chaos. The energy from Earth's core was unstable, and no one knew how to stop it. If humanity couldn't control the power, it could destroy them all. In a desperate attempt to understand what was happening, the world's top scientists and engineers raced to study the ancient machines beneath the surface. But the more they learned, the more they realized that the power was not something they could control. It was a force that was beyond their understanding, a force that would continue to shape the fate of Earth and all who sought to possess it. And as humanity faced the unknown future, the question remained, would they be the next civilization to fall, or would they find a way to live with the forgotten power that lay beneath? It started as a whisper, a rumor that spread through the galaxy like wildfire. A new, mysterious signal had been detected, originating from Earth. It was unlike anything humanity had ever heard before. Ancient, almost forgotten, it carried a chilling message, repeated in multiple languages. The time has come. Earth should have been left alone. At first, no one took it seriously. Earth was still a young player in the vast galactic community, and such warnings were often dismissed as nothing more than superstition. But this one was different. The message was clear, and it was reaching everyone: alien empires, galactic factions, and even distant outposts. All who received the signal could feel it. There was something powerful behind these words, something older and far more dangerous than anything anyone could comprehend. Soon, governments and powerful leaders on Earth began to investigate. The signal was real, and it wasn't just a message, it was a warning. The problem was no one knew exactly what it was warning them about. The message came from deep space, from a region humanity had never explored. The more they studied it, the more they realized that Earth wasn't just a remote planet, it was a place of significance. But why? And why were these ancient civilizations so desperate to keep people away from it? As the investigation deepened, strange things began happening across the globe. Ships, sent to explore the outer regions of the galaxy, began vanishing. Entire fleets disappeared without a trace, their last transmissions filled with panic and fear. Some ships returned, but their crews were forever changed: broken minds, empty eyes, as if they had witnessed something no one should ever see. The scientific community scrambled to understand the message. They discovered that Earth had once been the center of an ancient empire, an empire long forgotten by time. The details were buried deep in the galaxy's history, but every record pointed to the same conclusion: Earth had been abandoned. And the empire that once called it home had fallen, its ruins scattered across the stars. What was even more terrifying was that the signal wasn't the first of its kind. Every major civilization that had tried to claim Earth for themselves had met the same fate: destruction, oblivion, and disappearance. There was no trace of their technology, no remnants of their cities. Only their warning remained: Earth should have been left alone. With each discovery, humanity's leaders grew more desperate. The galaxy had never fully understood what Earth was, but it had been watching for millennia. And now, something was coming. Something was awakening beneath the surface of the planet, and it was far more powerful than anyone could imagine. One evening, just as the world's governments were starting to take the warnings seriously, a massive ship appeared in Earth's orbit. It wasn't like anything anyone had seen before. It was ancient, covered in rust and dark patches of energy that flickered like a dying star. The ship didn't make a move. It just hovered there, silent, watching. The tension was unbearable. The world's military was put on high alert. Ships were launched, and forces were readied. No one knew whether the ship was friend or foe. But one thing was certain: the time for questions was over. Earth had become the focal point of something far bigger than anyone could understand. Then, the message came again, but this time it wasn't just words. The ship sent a pulse, a burst of energy that cracked through the planet's atmosphere. It wasn't an attack, but a signal, a calling. And as soon as the pulse hit Earth's surface, strange things began to happen. The ground shook violently, and across the world, people felt a sudden weight in the air, as if something ancient was stirring beneath them. Across the globe, the signals from the ancient ship grew more frequent, each one accompanied by a growing sense of dread. The warnings weren't just about Earth's past, they were about Earth's future. Every civilization that had ever tried to take control of Earth had been destroyed by a force older than time itself. The pulse sent a message, loud and clear: you have awoken something that cannot be controlled. As the days passed, Earth's magnetic fields began to shift, and strange energy storms appeared in the sky. Communications were cut off, and a deep, unsettling silence filled the planet. The entire human race seemed to be holding its breath, waiting for something that no one could predict. What was coming? And was it too late to stop it? The world's top scientists, desperate to understand what was happening, began to piece together the ancient records they had uncovered. The clues all pointed to one thing: the empire that had once ruled Earth had harnessed a power unlike anything the galaxy had ever known. A power tied to the planet itself. This power had once protected Earth from invaders, and it was the reason why no civilization had ever been able to take it. But now, that power was awakening. And with it, Earth's fate hung in the balance. The final warning arrived just before it was too late. A new message, this time from the ship itself: you have disturbed the balance. You will not survive the reckoning. The message was unmistakable, and it came with one last terrifying revelation. The force that had once destroyed every empire that sought to control Earth was not some external enemy, it was part of the planet itself. Earth had a power that could not be controlled, a force that would not allow anyone to claim it. And if humanity didn't find a way to stop it, they would be the next civilization to fall. As the ship vanished into the depths of space, the world stood on the edge of disaster. The final warning was clear: Earth had always been more than just a planet. It was the keeper of an ancient power that no one could understand. And now, it was time to face the consequences. For centuries, humanity had expanded its reach across the galaxy, exploring new worlds and forging alliances with alien races. Earth, once a small and fragile planet, was now a hub of power. But as humanity's power grew, a force that no one, not even the most advanced civilizations, could control. And now, it was time for Earth's final test. It all began when a signal, faint but unmistakable, reached every corner of the galaxy. A warning, one that sent chills down the spines of every civilization that received it. The message was clear: the time has come. The final battle will decide the fate of Earth. No one knew who had sent the message, or why, but every major power in the galaxy knew one thing: it was no ordinary threat. Earth's leaders were thrown into panic. What did this mean? Who was coming? The message didn't provide answers, only a terrifying certainty: the final battle was upon them. All over Earth, fear gripped the hearts of people. Was this the end? Were they prepared to fight against a force they didn't even understand? Days turned into weeks, and the tension only grew. Earth's military forces were put on high alert, and powerful fleets were sent to guard the planet. but no enemy arrived. Instead, there was silence, unnerving, suffocating silence. It was as if the universe itself was holding its breath, waiting for something terrible to unfold. Then, one morning, the sky changed. It wasn't a storm, nor was it an attack. The sky itself seemed to shimmer with an unnatural glow. As the first ships appeared on Earth's radar, they were unlike anything humanity had ever seen. Massive, dark shapes that seemed to block out the stars, each one larger than a city. The ships didn't move like traditional spacecraft. They hovered, as though suspended in time, and as they drew closer, the ground itself seemed to tremble. Earth's defenses were ready, but no one knew how to prepare for what was coming. The alien ships were silent, their weapons inactive. It was as if they were waiting for something. And then, a voice spoke. It wasn't through speakers, or radio, or any known form of communication. The voice was in their minds, speaking directly to Earth's leaders, cold and distant. We have come to collect. The price must be paid. The leaders tried to respond, but their words felt empty, meaningless. The message had been received across the entire planet, and it was clear that Earth was not prepared for what was to come. The alien fleet began to descend, slowly, almost methodically. They were not attacking, not yet. But everyone knew that this was no mere negotiation. This was the beginning of something far darker. Then, a series of explosions shattered the silence. Earth's military forces, having lost their patience, launched their first strike. But it was futile. The alien ships absorbed the attacks effortlessly, their shields glowing with an eerie light, impervious to every weapon that was thrown at them. No matter how powerful humanity's technology had become, it was no match for the forces that had arrived. In a desperate attempt to retaliate, humanity gathered every weapon, every fleet, and every soldier they had. The skies above Earth became a battleground, filled with bright flashes of light, explosions, and the sounds of desperate cries. But the aliens didn't fight back, not in the way Earth's forces expected. Instead, they watched, waiting, as if this was part of the plan. As the battle raged on, the truth became clear. Earth's military had no hope of victory. Their weapons were useless against an enemy so far beyond their reach. And just when it seemed that all was lost, something unexpected happened. The sky opened up with a roar. A massive explosion rocked the alien fleet, sending shockwaves through space. At first, no one could understand what had happened. Had another fleet arrived to help? No. The explosion was coming from within the alien ships themselves. Something was causing them to collapse, to fall apart from the inside out. As the ships disintegrated, the voice returned, this time with a final, cold message. You are the last. The final battle is over. Earth has been tested, and it is passed. You are free to live. The alien ships vanished, disintegrating into nothingness. The battle was over, but no one understood what had just happened. Earth was left standing, victorious, but with no idea how. The alien force that had arrived, so sure of its power, had been destroyed from within, as if something had turned their own power against them. In the aftermath, humanity's leaders tried to understand what had happened. Why had the alien fleet attacked? What had caused their ships to self-destruct? And why had Earth been spared? The answers remained elusive. One thing was certain: the final battle had changed everything. The galaxy would never be the same. Earth had proven itself capable of standing against forces far beyond its comprehension. The message was clear: Earth was no longer just a small, fragile planet in a distant corner of the universe. It was something more, something powerful enough to face the final test. And as Earth began to rebuild, there was one question that lingered in the air. What else was out there, and what other tests awaited them in the vast unknown?